Sins of a Solar Empire 2 is a real-time 4X strategy game developed by Ironclad Games and published by Stardog Entertainment. Once again, in the sequel, you take control of one of 6 factions and attempt to conquer a series of planets and stars. As always, the first thing we ask is if this game is worth the $50 asking price. While I might be a bit biased, I enthusiastically say yes, it is easily worth $50. Sins of a Solar Empire 2 is an amazingly well-done game that contains potentially hundreds of hours of gameplay. But once you factor in mods, that number goes into potentially thousands of hours of gameplay. Sins of a Solar Empire 2 is a perfect sequel. Clarify, not a perfect game. It does have issues. However, I feel it is what one could consider a perfect sequel. It takes the core concepts of the first game, the planets, factions, system design, graphics, and music, then improves on them in various ways. The music is superb, the graphics are improved and updated, UI overhauled and easier to use. Factions are given overhauls themselves. With unique texts and ships given to each faction, they now have even more individual identity between them than in the first game. Planet upgrades and systems are streamlined. Finally, they improve the physics engine. This allows for tracking of individual turrets and projectiles, greatly increasing the depth of tactics in this game. Sins of a Solar Empire 2 also adds some new twists. They added an orbit system, allowing for strategic depth, making the position of individual gravity wells an important factor to consider. Each empire was given a unique empire-specific mechanic: trade for the TEC, unity for the Advent, and resonance for the Masari. You have also added individual items you can add to planets and capital ships. This means you can tailor planets and capital ships to specific situations and play styles. You also got rid of what did not work from the first game. Population to me always just felt like an extra health bar, not feel like it added much to the game. With the population upgrade removed from planets, the remaining upgrades and interactions feel more meaningful and more impactful. The cultural victory in the first game always felt kind of hollow, and it meant you had to focus enough culture to not lose, and then you could forget about it. Now that the cultural victory has been removed, it now feels like an important decision on when to focus on those culture upgrades to help improve your chances of winning. Instead of, I have to do this so I don't lose, it is now, how can I leverage these upgrades to improve my chances of winning? However, this game is not perfect. The TEC and Vasari got a year early access balance and play, while the Advent will only add it at launch. This means there are balance issues. Also, potentially be a bit of a memory hog, so I do recommend you check and pay attention to minimum system requirements. And finally, as has been pointed out by a few users, there is slightly less, what's the word I want? Planetary options than in the first one. It's the difference between, in the first one, I think there were 10 different planet types at launch, and this one, there are 9. Not that big of a deal, but some people might care. Overall, though, this game does what a sequel should. Move what did not work in the first one, improve on the core concepts, and add some interesting twists in order to innovate. $50, no matter your experience with the first game, whether you're new or experienced in the genre, or if you're curious about giving it an RTS 4X a try. I would recommend giving Sins of a Solar Empire 2 a try, as is well worth the asking price, and could potentially be held up as an example of specifically how to make a sequel for a game and how to make a 4X RTS. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? I'm always up for reasonable discussion in the conversation, so feel free to leave your thoughts. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed my thoughts in this game. Until we see each other again, remember to be kind to one another. Hello, this is Gohan the Chinchilla, and we hope you're having a good day, as do I. As always, we hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to follow, like, subscribe, or comment. Or even better, come on over to twitch.tv/SparkyTDK and watch me live every Monday through Friday. Thank you for your support.